Good evening, everyone. I hope my voice is audible to all of you. May I get a quick confirmation of the chat box? Am I audible to all of you? Yes. Awesome. So, welcome you all to the AAA March 2025 orientation session. And today we are going to discuss about everything related to AAA, how our batch is going to run. So many students here are from the enrolled course. So it's their first session as well. So even they will be given introduction to this subject, to the course. And the people even who are planning to give this paper by self-study with me or with any other tutor, this video or this lecture is very important for you because I'm going to give you a study planner that by which date you should be done with which topics of your exam and by which date you have to start your practice questions, from where to practice. Is it like I have to follow Kaplan? Have I to follow BPP? Or am I supposed to follow ACCA Study Hub? So that confusion keeps on wandering in our mind that what to do exactly. So we are going to discuss A to Z of AAA today, its strategy, what are its pain points, what are the easy marks, which topics are tested, what is the syllabus, what is the format, and especially the 20 professional marks. Come on, we all know the 20 professional marks are a headache because we've never dealt with them. Specifically, if I talk about SBR, like right after SBR, if you're attempting AAA, because that's the best option. So we have not actually seen professional marks in SBR, but now we are seeing it in AAA. So how to manage all of these things, we are going to discuss today in this session. And before I begin, and you ask me this question, ma'am, will this session be recorded? Of course. I hope you all can see this session is being recorded. So it will be available on YouTube for all students to watch by tomorrow. And the students who are enrolled, it will be available on your portal after few hours of the class. Okay. So let's begin with our session with a smile and let's think and see what is there in AAA and how the batch is going to work. So for my introduction, I am teaching FR, SBR, AAA. It's been 5 years now for me teaching ACCA, and I was qualified in ACCA in 2020. And yeah, I started teaching when even I was not qualified, but that was a part-time thing. But now that's my full-time job. And if I talk about our results, see, AAA is what I took a break for. So from 2020 till 2022, I was teaching AAA, but then I took a break and I resumed AAA in the last year itself. So in 2024, like 2023 last, I resumed with AAA. So this is our batch results from the September quarter, and of course, December quarter results are not yet out. And these are the students who've actually got the highest score was 75%. So these are the scores for AAA. And if you want to enroll with the batch, if you're not yet enrolled, if you're planning to enroll, you have to visit this website, tgprofs.com, and make sure that you're using the 10% discount coupon because we're getting many queries saying that, ma'am, we've not applied the coupon code and stuff like that. So please don't do the silly mistake if you are, enrolling into a course. So make sure you understand the what coupon codes are running. It pops up on the website when you enroll. So make sure you apply that coupon code before enrolling. Okay. Now that being said, let us discuss solely about advanced audit and assurance. Before I begin, I want this session to be a little interactive over the chat box. I can't say that unmute yourself because I have to put this session on YouTube. So let us this be a monologue, and towards the end, maybe you can say your doubts also. But for now, in the chat box, can you tell me how many of you have given SBR in December attempt, or the most recent paper that you've given is SBR? How many of you? Okay, Vipul, Apeksha, Mariam. Okay, I remember these names. These are all from our December batch, right? You guys are from the December batch. Most of you. Hi, hello. Yeah, awesome. So if you have given your SBR in the December attempt, let me tell you, congratulations. You are lucky because AAA has direct link with SBR. So guys, when I was teaching you SBR, if you remember, from the orientation of SBR. Yesterday only I was taking the orientation of SBR, and I mentioned the same thing again, that SBR knowledge is as it is used in AAA. That's what I told you when I began with your studies in the December batch. So basically, that means I have the prerequisite IFRS knowledge from SBR, which is assumed in AAA syllabus. So basically, if I am, what is audit? Audit is when I check whether the financial statements, which are basically P&L, balance sheet, cash flow, statement of changes in equity, notes to accounts, whether these financial statements are true and fair or not. True means real, like honest. Fair means unbiased, neutral. So basically, I'm checking whether the financial statements are true and fair or not. And to check that, I should know exactly that how the financial statements were prepared. Because imagine I'm checking your paper, I gave the same example yesterday. I'm checking your paper and I don't know the course content. I'm teaching AAA, but I don't know what is there in AAA. That won't make sense, right? So to check whether financial statements were true and fair or not, I definitely need to know how in the world financial statements are prepared. What are the rules of making financial statements? And what are the rules of making financial statements? IFRSs. That's what you've studied in SBR. Now, if there is any student who's given SBR like years ago, months ago, maybe in the June quarter, September quarter, or has partially forgotten these standards, anyone here be honest about it? Or you remember everything? Anyone? You did in June. Okay, fine. So even if Adil, you also forgotten AAA, sorry, SBR, September quarter, fine. See, if you have forgotten anything from SBR in your AAA course, I have included IFRS's grand revision. Okay. So you can watch that. Plus, now you might say, ma'am, grand revision is freely available to everyone on YouTube. What's different in AAA course? Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to revise our standards live in the class. So I am going to relate SBR with AAA in live sessions this time. Usually I give recordings, but this is my new year resolution that for 2025, I need to increase interaction with my students. So I have increased the number of live classes. So like we are having a closed session today on Zoom. So we know, okay, I know students who have joined the session. I know their names. I've started recognizing them already. So with time, with every live session, we will get into more touch and interaction. So my point is that we are going to do IFRSs, relate them to their related audit risk, relate them to their related audit procedure and audit evidence. So I'll pick a standard, tell the rules of the standard, tell you the risk associated with it, tell you the procedures associated with it, tell you the evidences associated with it, and that's how we will pass AAA. That's the best approach. So I really believe someone who's teaching AAA should teach you IFRSs as well, because as I said, if you will not know how to make financial statements, how in the world are you going to audit them? So that's what AAA is. AAA is all about how to check financial statements. For that, I should know how financial statements are made. Plus, I should know the rule of checking. Now, these rules of checking the financial statements are known as international standards of auditing. So they are going to tell you like, okay, what kind of evidence you should collect. If you are an auditor and you have to prove to the shareholders that the financial statements prepared are true and fair. So what kind of evidence you should have in your working file? So for example, there was a property. Audit is a very practical subject. There is a property of my client and I want to check whether this property really exists or not. So what I'll do is I'll visit this property. I will do physical verification. And once I do physical verification, that is a procedure. So if I write in my exam that conduct physical verification of property, plant and equipment to check its existence or to verify its existence, then that is a procedure. I'm asking you to do something. That's a verb. Conduct something is a verb. Now, what can be an evidence associated with it? Now, if you have visited something physically, of course, there will be some photographic evidence that you should keep with you and maybe put it in your working files, right? So what I'll do, I'll keep a photographic evidence with me. So what exactly is my audit? I conduct some work on every accounting transaction, on every account balance, on every disclosure note. And that work that I conduct, I also evidence that work. So, for example, if you teach somewhere, and today I'm here in a college teaching SBR students, so I have to file a log sheet that, okay, what did I teach today in the class? So what I'm doing is I'm leaving behind an evidence that yes, I was here from this time to this time, and this is what I've taught. So that log sheet is an evidence. Similarly, in audit, everything will have an evidence. What kind of evidence you have to prioritize, that is told to you under the ISAs. What kind of work has to be done? What is an engagement letter? How audit report is prepared for shareholders? What goes into the audit report? What if there is an event after reporting period? How do you deal with it in audit? What if there is a going concern issue? How do you deal with it? So all that stuff is given to you in ISAs, that is International Standards on Auditing. Clear? So this is basically tested in AAA. So AAA is a combination of IFRSs and ISAs. Now, how will this AAA paper help me in future? So how many of you plan to work as auditors after qualifying? How many of you plan to work as auditors? Wow, so many. Because there are a lot of, I would say, openings in the audit field, and auditor's job is quite interesting, especially the senior job. I won't say the people who just join as freshers, for them it's very hectic, but once you become an audit senior or audit manager, that is very interesting job, but a lot of responsibilities kick in because you're signing the audit report. So yeah, it is having an obligation, but there is a lot of, I would say, fun in the audit job. And if you're planning to do that, you should know how audit is conducted, right? What kind of evidence you need, what kind of work you need to perform, in which format you have to report the, audit report. How do you communicate to the management of your client? What is the tone that you have to maintain? So it's a very professional paper where everything works according to keywords. I can't write in my own language. You guys have studied SBR with me or have ever watched any video of me solving the paper of SBR? Maybe you are a self-study student and you've seen my pre-mock debriefs. Have you? Yes. So what was there in those debriefs? It was always, I was writing in simple words, 1 mark, 1 point. I write 1 point, I get 1 mark. Simple language. This goes into P&L, this goes into OCI, 1 mark granted. But in AAA, it's not like this. You have to maintain your professional language. When I say professional language, that means I have to use exact words from the standard. Whether I'm mentioning an IFRS, I need to write exact words. If I am writing about an ISA, I need to write exact words, right? So this is something which is very important. And if you don't do that, that is the reason that you fail the paper. What is the pass percentage of AAA? Has anyone tried to explore it? Has everyone been curious enough to know what is the pass percentage of this paper? 35, 36, 39. See, it is on an average ranging around 35%, which is the least pass percentage. I'm telling you an average pass percentage. Least pass percentage in ACCA is of two papers, APM and AAA. And AAA is something which is demanded a lot in the market. So if you're confused between which optional to choose, of course, AAA is your best option, because once you qualify, most probably you'd be working in the audit sector because there are a lot of openings and auditors are respected in the society. Plus you get if you want to work as an auditor, of course, you need to know ISAs. They won't ask whether you've studied any other paper or not, but they will surely ask you about SBR and AAA. Not because I teach them, but because that is the market reality, because that is something which is more technical, realistic. If you go into consulting, then they would, your APM and AFM knowledge will come into picture. But mostly people are going into audit sector or financial reporting sector. So that is why these two papers are very important for your career. And the pass percentage is too low. So how can I manage my career and also this pass percentage? That's why I say it's very important in AAA that you learn the skills of application. And the most important reason due to which people fail this paper, why people fail this paper? They don't complete their exam. They don't complete a 100-marker paper. I have seen students saying, ma'am, we left 10 marker, we left 15 marker, 20 marker, whole third question left. And I'm like, how will you pass? That's not even possible now. So forget about passing. So the most important skill in this paper is to complete the paper, manage the time. And time management remains same, 1.8 minutes per mark. But you are a lucky student because now we have 20 professional marks. So effectively, I'm answering a paper of 80 marks. Previously, people were asking, they were answering questions worth 96 marks. You are answering 80 marks paper within the same time limit, 3 hours, 15 minutes. So you have got 3 or 15 minutes. Previously, you were answering 96 technical marks. Now you're answering how many? 80 marks. Yes. So this is something which is very insane that we are saving time, but still, even till date, people are flunking this paper because of time management. And the time management is not a problem because our typing speed is low. No, don't think that low. Everyone's typing speed. You all have phones, you all text your friends, you know how to type. You're working even. So if you're a working student, you know it better than anyone else. But the point is that if typing speed is not a problem, then what is the problem? Why are we not able to manage the time? The issue is the complexity of the question number one. I won't blame question two. I won't blame question three. It's question number one, which is the sole reason people flunk. And the question number one, what is the feature of this question? It's a 50 marker. Imagine half of your paper in one question. It's a 50 marker case study. And in that case study, they ask you multiple things. They'll ask you business risk, audit risk, procedures, ethics, quality management. Literally anything and everything from audit can be asked in question number one. So now if I am answering an audit risk question. So what is audit risk? When I start audit, as an auditor, I have a team of people with me. We all sit in a meeting. We have a client in hand. We discuss about all his environment, like where he's working. We do the pestle analysis. What are his political factors, economic factors, social factors, technological factors. We research on literally everything, laws and regulations this company has to understand that what can be the risks of this company. So for example, they are in such a country where the government keeps on changing. So they have a political risk. Their tax rate can be fluctuating. A. Second thing, their policies are changing. So they might have some issues with importing the raw material, right? So there can be a lot of things which can impact a company. So I need to do pestle analysis to understand their risk, their environment. So when I plan my audit with my team, I analyze that client, take out their risks, business risks. Based on that, I see that in the financial statements, what all mistakes this person could have done. So if I say their law is very strict, or they have a lot of laws and regulations, for example, pharmaceutical companies, these companies have a lot of laws and regulations. They have a license. You can't just randomly open a medical shop. You need a license, right? So you can't become a chemist just like that. So if there are laws and regulations associated with it, the risk is that you might not comply with the laws and regulations. That is your business risk. What is the audit risk associated with this? That maybe you have not created a provision. So maybe you have breached a law and regulation, court case is going against you, or the government has actually fined you, but you've not created a provision for that. So can you think how auditor is always overthinking? And this overthinking of the auditor is termed as professional skepticism. So he's always like, okay, if this has happened, this might risk our company into this situation. And plus, this can also lead to a risk. This can also lead to a risk in the financial statements. So my point is that in AAA, in question number 1, they would sometimes ask you to identify business risk. So when I'm identifying business risk, I'm looking at the question from the perspective of a CEO. Then when I look into the same case study, sometimes I'm looking at it from the perspective of the accountant, that what all misstatements can be there. Sometimes I'm looking at it from the perspective of the auditor. So that makes our paper very difficult. One piece of information and different perspectives. One piece of information, and I have to figure out so many things, which is why people are not able to manage their time, because their reading capacity, analytical capacity, identification capacity is low. So they don't identify the things on the correct time in the correct way. So the reason we fail is time management, which is because of lack of practice and nothing else. Right? So now let's further discuss format of the paper. As I said, question number 1 worth 50 marks. 10 professional marks are allocated to the question number 1. Why 10 professional marks? What is there in the 10 professional marks? The way you write, the professional wordings you have used, your communication skill, you have to prepare a format. Then you have your analytical skills. So analytical skills are basically, are you looking at the situation from 360-degree, or is your scope very narrow? Are you thinking with an open mind, or you're just being restricted to one line of thinking? Are you rigid in thinking, or you are open-minded? Right? So analyzing the situation 360-degree, maintaining a logical flow. So all these reasons are there for professional marks, not repeating your points, something which is there in the case study. So usually in AAA, they say that the audit engagement partner, I call it as AEP, the engagement partner has sent you an email, and he's asked that in this email, like, he explains his meeting with the client, and he says, identify the risk here. So that information is coming from the engagement partner only. And what we do, like SBR, we used to give background of the case study. We start giving the background in AAA. That makes it unprofessional. Imagine engagement partner is sending you some information. So he knows that already now. Why are you re-explaining it? He told you that information. That exhibit is the email from engagement partner only. And you are making a reply for him. Should you repeat his points? Should you write the background again? So background is given by the engagement partner only, and we are so smart, we try to explain the background to engagement partner again. That is the reason people lose professional marks. Repetitive points, no analysis, no communication, not completing the paper is also something that harms your professional marks. Right? Then question 1 will be on audit risk, group audit, ethical requirement, procedures, business risk. It could be anything. Question number 2 is for 25 marks. And here we are used to get this matters to consider requirement. So once I move into the course, I'll tell you exactly which part of the syllabus is this. So they give you a case study where there is IFRS application which has gone wrong. And they ask you what are the matters to be considered here and what work can you perform further on this. So what can be the further procedures? So here I talk about the materiality of that transaction, what will be its correct accounting treatment from IFRS perspective, then what is its impact on the financial statements. That's what I record in question number 2. Then what is there in question number 3? Here we have other assignments. That's also part of your syllabus. So it's not just audit which we have and we give assurance in audit. What is assurance? What is assurance? Anyone? Can you tell me what is assurance? What do we mean by assurance? Any input? What do you mean by assurance? Yes. Anyone? Providing an opinion. Khushbu says providing an opinion. Any other answer? Khushbu, thanks for participating. What is assurance? Guarantee. Oh, checking and letting know if it is correct. Guarantee. See, assurance is not a guarantee. Assurance can be of two types. Reasonable assurance. So when I give a reasonable assurance, I'm like, yeah, everything is fine. Everything is true and fair. I didn't find anything wrong. Then there is limited assurance. What is limited assurance? Here I start with a negative tone. I didn't find anything wrong. Reasonable assurance is everything is fine up to a reasonable extent. Nobody can guarantee anything. Auditor cannot guarantee that the financial statements are free from misstatements. There might be mistakes. There might be mistakes which the auditor was not able to identify. So he cannot give 100% guarantee that the financial statements are true and fair. He gives a reasonable assurance because he does a lot of work on the financial statement. So he's like, yeah, up to the extent the work that I've performed, I believe that the financial statements are true and fair. But when you're giving limited assurance, you're like, I didn't find anything bad. I didn't find anything wrong in the financial statements. So which assurance is greater, reasonable or limited? Which one is preferable by the shareholders? What would they like to have? Reasonable assurance or limited assurance? Obviously, reasonable assurance, that's better choice because then we are given better conclusion. It's not a guarantee, but it's a higher level of assurance. So assurance is like giving a confidence that yes, this is right, go ahead. This is true and fair. Giving a thumbs up. Assurance, right? So now assurance assignments are not just audit. There is internal audit. We are teaching you external audit in AAA. But there are other assignments also, like review, where we give limited assurance. When, for example, bank wants to give loan to a company, they don't want audit report. They want review report. So they get the financial statements reviewed. Then, for example, I talk about I want to buy a company. So company A wants to buy company B. I want an assurance that this company B is actually good. What they're stating in the financial statements is right. Do you watch Shark Tank? How many of you here have watched Shark Tank? Indian or the global one? Watched? So what are we doing in Shark Tank? Here, the sharks, the people who are the investors, are actually investing their money into startups, right? And these startups, they come and claim some figures. For example, they will say, I have 1 million worth of revenue. Can you just simply rely on them that yes, they have 1 million worth of revenue? Is that so simple? Someone is saying, I have 1 million revenue. Will you just rely on them? Will you not get into their investigation? Yes. What is that investigation? That's known as due diligence. So when you invest into a company, you need to check, are these people genuine? So when you enroll into a course, you ask students, no, has anyone studied with ma'am? Has anyone studied at TG Profs? So what are you doing? You're doing KYC? That is this genuine? You see the comments, you see the results on the page, or you see the reviews. You ask the students, there's a portal on Reddit where everyone would be asking who's the best tutor and all that. What are you doing? That is KYC. You're taking reviews because you don't trust, which is normal. Okay. Happens everywhere. So basically, every company cannot trust other company. So if I want to invest into a new company, if I want to buy their business, I will conduct a KYC on them. Know your client. That is what KYC is. So when I conduct that KYC, I take an assurance that these people are genuine. One. Second thing, I take an assurance that what they've stated in their financial statements, their profit, their revenue, their expenses, their assets, their liabilities, their ratios, they are to an extent genuine. If yes, who's going to give this assurance? Due diligence reviewer. So due diligence is a separate department. If you become ACCAs, it's not necessary that you will only work into financial reporting, consulting, or audit. You can go into due diligence sector. Similarly, this is another assignment where we provide assurance. Similarly, we have forensic investigation. Now, that's not CBI, that's not related to crime, that's related to fraud. Companies have a lot of fraud happening. Employees are taking away the assets, employees are misstating the figures, the managers are creating ghost employees and taking the cash home. So, all these frauds which are happening, the management doesn't have the time to actually identify the fraud. When will they work? So, what they do, they hire experts, investigators, Sherlock Holmes. So they are going to hire these investigators. These professionals are known as forensic auditors. So they are forensic investigators. They investigate into the fraud that has happened in that company. So this whole topic is a separate area of your paper that comes under other assignment. So first other assignment was due diligence. Second was forensic investigation. Just like that, we also have cash flow forecast. We might do some work on cash flows. Companies always make their budgets, their projections. How would I know that that is true and fair or not? So bank would get a cash flow forecast audited. That's not audit exactly, that's a review. Because you can't give reasonable assurance on cash flow forecast. That's a future thing. I say I will get 1 crore rupees, Indian rupees tomorrow. That's a forecast of mine. So I can't give a reasonable assurance on it. Never. I can only give limited assurance that, okay, I've reviewed the things and I feel everything is correct. I can't give reasonable assurance. So on cash flow forecast, there are procedures performed, there are evidences collected. And that's exactly what we have in our other assignments. So other assignments have various assignments like review assignments, due diligence, forensic investigation, cash flow forecast. These are all assignments where assurance is given, but they are not audit, right? So when I say advanced audit and assurance, I first talk about audit and then I also talk about the word assurance. So other assignments come under this term assurance, right? So not just external audit, but other assignments are also part of my syllabus, which are tested in question number 3. Then what else do I have? Now let's come back to external audit. What is the process of audit? I start with a planning meeting with my team. I identify all the risks of this client. After identifying the business risk, I identify the audit risk. Now I've identified that this company's provisions might be misstated because they have a lot of laws and regulation to comply with. Then I identified that they're dealing with derivatives, so their financial instrument is a section which might be misstated, right? So what I do is identify all the risky areas. Based on that, I perform work. The work is I check the things, I verify the things. Do the assets really exist? Are their valuation right? Is the presentation fine? I work on all these areas and I accordingly collect evidence so that I keep it for me for next 5 to 6 years. So that I remember that I checked the valuation of the asset and for that I have also an evidence, right? After performing this work, I collect evidences, and after collecting evidences, I finally give a report to the shareholders. So this audit is done on the request of shareholders only. So basically, shareholders are the owners of a company and the directors are the controllers of the company. I hope you all know this. This is a very basic concept of F1, that shareholders own the company and directors control the company. Yes? Give me a confirmation you know this concept. Directors control, shareholders own. Management controls, shareholders own. So if shareholders are owning this company, will they trust the controllers, the directors? No. So if today you give me you give me, let's suppose 10 lakh or $1 million, $1 million. You give me $1 million that, ma'am, invest it on our behalf. You won't trust me. You'll keep on following up. Have you invested? What is the return? What's happening with my money? Is it safe? Is it not drowned? You'll be always worried because I am controlling that money, but that money belongs to you. Your soul will be stuck in that 1 million. Same happens with shareholders also. Their soul is stuck in their funds because they've invested into a business, but someone else is controlling that business. So they don't trust the controllers. And this mistrust is known as agency theory, because the shareholders who are the principals, they do not trust the directors who are the agents. And because of this agency theory, shareholders, they send their examiners who are known as auditors to check whether directors are doing their work. Are they saying the truth or are they lying? So shareholders send the auditors to the company to see whether directors are saying the truth or not. So this auditor is doing all this work on the request of the shareholder. So when the work has been done, planning meeting done, procedures conducted, evidence is collected, finally the auditor is supposed to report to whom? Yes, comment. Whom should we report as auditors? Should I report to directors or shareholders? Shareholders, very good. Because those are the people who requested me to conduct audit, because they have a mistrust on the directors. So how do you prepare this report? What goes into this report? All that comes under reporting. So reporting is a different segment of your paper. So what goes into audit report? When is the audit report modified? What are the different kind of opinions that you give in an audit report? All that is a very important part of your syllabus, right? So I have explained you what goes into your syllabus, what are the contents of AAA. So I've given you the question numbers, marks allocated to each one of them, and topics tested in each one of them. You can find this PDF after the class. I'll share it in the respective groups. Now, and if you want to get added into the WhatsApp group, like if you're not already part of it, you can just drop a text message on this number. Okay. And this is my team's number. They will add you into the WhatsApp group. It's an automated message which is delivered that as in soon you just put a hi, you get, and these are free global groups. You can be part of them. All the resources are shared on these groups. Going forward, the thing that you guys have been waiting for, you were here for this now. The March 2025 study planner. And this time, as I said, there are a lot of live classes. So be ready to be here with me in the live sessions, interacting. This time we are not interacting because this is going into YouTube. But otherwise, when the class is not going on YouTube, we have a lot of interaction. So what do we have here? Have a look at this. I made columns for you where this is topic, whether it will be done live or whether it will be done recorded. So for first unit, we have ethics, money laundering, and important basic classes. So in these important basic classes on your portal, you can see I have done AA concepts, like, some procedures from AA, basic group accounts, audit, group audit. So I've covered all that in the important basic classes. So you have to watch this via recordings till 25th of December. So today it's 15th of December. So I've given you 10 days. Don't rush into the syllabus and be like, I'll cover everything today only. It's not a race, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Start slow, okay? Gain the momentum and be consistent. Don't be like, today I'll study for 6 hours and then you get tired and then you don't study for the next 7 days. No. This is a marathon. You have to maintain your consistency. So start slow. So our first session after you watch all these recordings will be on 25th of December. That is Wednesday. It's Christmas, I know. So most of you must be having holidays. So it's the best time to meet. 8 p.m. Indian time. So all the students who are from abroad also, I hope you can manage. And we are going to do this via recording plus practice will be done live in the class. So you start with exam kit practice with me. You do not start the practice yourself, otherwise you'll get confused. Then audit risk is another topic that is again to be done via recordings. So for its practice, so basically audit risk should be done from 25th December till 1st of January. So in audit risk, I've included basic planning theory, what is business risk, what is audit risk, all these basic theory, or you can say theoretical principles are included in this chapter. So this is to be done by 1st of January and we meet on 8 p.m. for Wednesday and we do practice of audit risk. Then audit evidence, IFRS's procedure. This is the star. This is the soul of AAA. Soul. Here I will also cover risks. I will pick up a standard. I will write their audit risk. I'll write their procedure. I'll write their evidence. So this starts, we need 3 days for them. 5th of January, 9th of January and 12th of January. The classes which are on the weekends are kept at 7 p.m. The classes which are on the weekdays are kept at 8 p.m. Now you can just, after the class, I'll share this PDF with you. Just get this part of the PDF printed and make sure you paste it on your wall so that you remember by which date you're done with which topic. I also have recordings of this area, but I want you to do it live. So I've written no against the recording. Don't watch the recording of this area, even though it's available, but don't watch it. Because anyway, we are going to do it in live class. So it's better we do it live so that if you have a doubt, you can ask it in the live class only. Then group audit, next concept. That's related to group accounts. We are doing it via recordings. So from 12th of January till 19th of January, you have time to do group audit by yourself via recordings. And I will meet you with the practice of group audit on Sunday, 19th of January. Then last topic, review and reporting from external audit. For that, we are doing it in the live class. This is not to be done via recordings. We are doing the concept in the live class. Again, review and reporting is very technical. So it's also a star topic. And that is the reason I'm doing it in the live class. The concept also. So 2 days for review and reporting. Then other assignments, I just told you these are like, for example, we have due diligence, cash flow forecast, the review assignments, and we have the forensic investigation. All these things are recorded for you. So you can watch it via the recording also. But I suggest you attend it live in class with me because again, this is a very important part of your syllabus and a little confusing. Something which is confusing, I think we should do it in live class so that as and when your doubt arises, I can cater to it. So the conceptual classes, live classes will be on 28th of January and 29th of January. And then lastly, we have some theoretical areas, the basic things like what is an engagement letter, what is a written representation, all these basic fraud, laws and regulations. These are very small topics that you've done in AA also. So they will be done on 2nd of February. We will have the practice class, but you will do them via the recording. So I have recordings for them in the small theoretical area section, and you will just watch them and you'll be done with them. It will take you not more than like 2 hours, just 2 hours. And you'll be done with all these small theory areas. Clear? So there are portions that we are covering live: audit evidence, IFRS procedure, review and reporting, and other assignments. These are the 3 areas that I'm going to cover live with you, concept also and practice also. And the dates of live classes are in front of you. And after the session, this planner will be shared with you, so you wouldn't have a doubt of what is scheduled for which date, right? So this is what I have as my planner. And then what after 2nd of February? Am I going to say bye-bye to you? Of course not. We are going to have Super 20 live classes. You all know the Super 20, I hope. This is also part of the crash batch. So we are going to have 6-day continuous classes. This attempt, December attempt, I did not conduct Super 20 classes. But this time, as I said, it's my resolution to be more interactive and have more live classes. So I am starting with Super 20 live classes again. So 6 days of the session, continuous dates are to be announced, maybe February 10th, around 10th February. And then we will start following Ultimate Planner. Now you might wonder that, ma'am, what is Ultimate Planner? On your portal, you can see a section by the name of kit question debrief. So this is the diamond of every paper that I have. In SBR also I have this section, and in AAA also I have this section. Basically, here I've solved all the kit questions from BPP exam kit, many important ACCA study hub questions. So I don't want you to start with these questions without me. So 19 into 3, approximately there are 40 to 50 questions being debriefed, like video exam library. I'm solving that question in the class as a recording. And their answers are attached. My exam standard answers are attached along with the recording. So these are very important, but in which order you have to watch them, which questions you have to do via recordings, which question you have to do by yourself. That is what I will tell you in the ultimate planner, which will be out on 1st of February 2025. So till 1st of February 2025, we'll be done with all of our syllabus with question practices, like topic-wise question practices, not the whole exam kit, but topic-wise. And then after 1st of February, we will solely start question practice from BPP kit plus ACCA study hub, right? And now, very important thing, how should I cover the concepts? How should I cover the concepts? Okay, see, you have to follow the lecture. First, watch the lecture. If you're doing it via recording, if it is live class, so of course, wait for the live class. Follow the lecture. Read that chapter from the notes. So on your portal, I've already attached your notes. So there are like 290 pages notes. Okay, very important. You have to read them. You have to retain them to your memory. They're very important notes. No need of any text. Notes are enough. Then attend the live practice class related to that topic. Do questions from text. Basically, your exam kit, not text, exam kit, which is to be done with me. So for example, ethics. You did ethics from the lectures. Then on 25th December, I will have a live class where I will solve questions related to ethics. So you start the exam kit with me. On the same day, I will tell you, now since you have done this question with me, now you can try question number 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll pinpoint the questions that you can solve after doing that live class. And then once you're done with the unit, you have to give assignments. Okay. So this is, can we use the old BPP kit? What if we already bought Kaplan? That's totally on to you. But the questions that you see here, these are from the BPP kit. And some questions are also old questions. So yes, you can use old kit as well, because past papers are past papers. Kits can revise, but ACCA past papers remain the same. So if I'm solving a question from 2015, it's still relevant. Audit does not change. So syllabus of audit is constant. Only one way of asking the question has changed, that I'll explain you as we move into the sessions. Right? Then, okay, now what if you miss the live class? So I've given you dates of the live classes. How many live classes do we have? 6 classes are for Super 20 sessions. Then we have sessions for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 plus 6, 17. 17 plus grand revision, 18, plus mock debrief, 19. And then marathon, 20. So approximately 20 live sessions. And guess what? Previously, I used to have only one session every week on Sundays. So that was just like 5 sessions for the whole syllabus, and then 6 sessions for the Super 20. So 11 sessions in total. Now 20 sessions. So these 20 sessions for 3 hours each, 2 to 3 hours each, will make sure that you pass this paper. So if I am doing something extra from my side, I want you guys to also put that extra input. So this will be the best attempt to give AAA, because we're getting the live support right now in this session, right? So that's how it works. And if you miss the live class, right after 2-3 hours of the class, the recording is available on the portal. That's an automated process. It will take the time for processing. So for example, the class was of 2 hours. It will take 2 hours for processing. So that's how it works. Is it necessary to do SBR before AAA? Yes, very necessary, of course. You can't pass AAA without SPR. Then mock 1 on 20th February, it's debrief on 25th, mock 2 on 26th, grand revision on 28th Feb. So all these dates will become relevant when we reach the February month. Mock 1 will be marked and debriefed, and mock 2 will only be debriefed. Assignments, as I said, every unit will have one assignment. So there is a TA, she's a qualified ACCA, and she will be marking your assignments. Okay. And we are going to have unit wise assignments. So how many units you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Approximately 6 assignments. Seventh, I won't count as a unit because this is a very small area. So 6 assignments are there for AAA. 6 assignments. If you join now, if you join later, then you miss the assignments. So 6 assignments plus 2 mocks. One is marked, one is debriefed. How are assignments submitted? It is submitted via the email, and you also get a reply via the email. That's how it works. It's an email support. And if anything extra has to be mentioned, it is mentioned via the email. And your PDF is marked like I'm writing on the board right now. Same way it is marked. Okay. That's it. So this is what we have. And of course, how to ask doubts. Guys, honestly, I was just struggling with one thing that I want to discuss with you and be honest with you. That when I add you guys into a WhatsApp group, so once you enroll, you're added into a premium WhatsApp group where you ask your queries. So what was happening was there were a lot of messages and lot of clouding of information on the group, class updates on the group, doubts on the group, and then students who were not enrolled also texting on WhatsApp. So becoming very difficult and exhaustive for the faculty to answer. So what we've come up with is that now you will ask your doubts on the portal. Indeed, you still have WhatsApp group so that you can informally stay connected. So if there is anything informal, you can ask on WhatsApp. But gradually with time, we will shift from WhatsApp to portal. How can you ask your doubts on portal? You will first log in into the website, use your sign-in credentials. You all have it by far if you're enrolled. After that, you will see on the top right corner a community tab. You must be seeing it right now if you are enrolled. You will see this community tab. Just refresh your portal. Then after clicking on that, it will show you 3 different paid learner group: SBR group, AAA group, FR group. So of course you already have, if you're enrolled, you already have access to AAA March discussion group. In that discussion group, you can post your doubt, like give the title of the doubt, the topic it is related to, write your doubt here, attach anything that you want to attach along. If a question extract is there, attach it. If there is a voice note, you can attach your voice note also. If you want to attach any PDF that can be attached, only that the file size should be 5 MB, not more than that. So you will post your doubt here. Everyone will see this doubt. It's not just me. Everyone will see this doubt. So if anyone would have the same doubt, their doubt will also be clarified. You post it, I will give a public reply to it. So it would be like Facebook. You post something in a group, someone comments down as a reply. So same thing will happen. You post your query, I will reply it in the discussion group publicly. I can give you a video answer, I can give you an audio answer, I can give you a written answer. That depends upon the doubt being asked. So everyone can see that doubt and its reply. Turnaround time, approximately 24 hours for your reply on the query. Okay. So this is how it works and how you have to ask your doubts going forward. Let's see how it goes. I will be keeping on taking your feedback. Like, how are you feeling with the portal doubts? Are you enjoying it? Is there any issue? We will keep on uh, updating the things accordingly. And the paid WhatsApp group, yes, I will still be answering your queries on the WhatsApp group. But with time, once you all are accustomed to the discussion group, once the doubts frequency has increased, we will just stick to discussion group because that will ease things for us. Because the discussion group will become our go-to thing. You'll get habitual to it. So with time, we will shift to discussion group. Like by middle of January, we'll try to shift completely on the discussion group. I will also take time. You will also take time, right? So we'll adapt to it. Are we all ready for that? Ready for the adaptation to the discussion forum on the portal? Yes. Let's shift from informal WhatsApp communications to some professional things now, right? Okay. How much time are we supposed to dedicate every day? If you start your preparation now, I believe it should not take you more than 1.5 hours every day. For now, 1.5 hours. Okay. So I'm done for the day. That was my orientation, my side of the story. If you have any further queries, please feel free to comment down in the chat box. Anything you want to ask? Is it doable to do both SBR and AAA in one sitting? Yes, it is doable. And soon, tomorrow, I have FR orientation. So, day after tomorrow, I will upload a video related to planner if you are doing SBR and AAA together. Okay. We are studying AAA international. Yes, yes, international, not UK. UK version is not required unless you want a practice certificate of auditor in UK. That too for small clients. Please upload the planner right after the session. The planner will be uploaded on the portal and the WhatsApp group. Just half an hour's time and then it will be uploaded. Okay. Is 30% discount? No, no, it got over on 13th. What's your advice as of how to begin? Just start with the recordings. You have an introduction on the portal, start with it. Start with ethics, money laundering, do the questions related to ethics. Wait for the live class on 25th of December. Just go through your notes. There are notes given to you, get them printed, like get them spiraled, printed. I would say hard copy of notes will make a lot of sense and you will get accustomed to the things which are written there. So start kind of just getting familiar to them. I won't say start reading them, learning them, but have an overview of what is there. I'm a CA student. I want to start ACCA with AAA. Am I doing correct? Start with SBR, not AAA, SBR. If we do SBR plus AAA, then how much time is needed every day? Approximately, I would say if you start now, 3 hours. 3 hours approximately. Is it hard to study for AAA if I've passed my AA through exemption? Yes, you will face a little bit of difficulty in understanding the terminology. So you will take time to understand terms like uh, assertions, term like audit, term like true and fair, misstatement, material. So all these terms might be new to you. You will take time. So you'll have to put an extra effort, read notes very properly. But I teach from the scratch. So I tell you what is material from the scratch. But still, there might be some knowledge gap. So put extra effort in terms of reading the notes thoroughly. Okay. Ma'am, videos and personal practice would be enough because I'm not so efficient with reading and I feel when I read concepts, I waste a lot of time. This one of I enrolled with your course. Yes, reading and doing the practice is enough. But see, when you read things yourself, you get confused. Agreed. Even I am the same category. I can't read something without any explanation. But if I have explained you, I have explained the notes in the class. So when you read the notes, you're basically revising the class. You can't every time watch the lecture again, right? So I'm just revising uh, when I say I'm revising the s- notes, I'm revising the lecture. So I'm not asking you to read the notes which are fresh. I'm asking to read something that I've already explained in the session. Correct? Okay. Ma'am, I've done FR but not SBR. Will I face difficulty in AAA? Yes, you must give SBR first or study for SBR along with AAA. Okay. I'm also working in US audit and will have busy season in Jan and Feb. So will AAA be manageable in March? If you can devote 1.5 to 2 hours daily, not an issue. If you can't, then maybe go for the June attempt. Are there any free notes available for the self-study students? Yes, yes. I'll share it on the groups. I'll share those notes everywhere. No problem. Do we need to purchase the actual textbook? Not needed. You can purchase the exam kit, not the textbook. Have you had students who sat for SBR and AAA together? Yes, many students. So I will make a planner for you as well if you're giving SBR and AAA together. Please reply again. I couldn't hear you because of the video but buffer. I am MCA final student. I want to start ACCA with AAA. No, Jagdish, you should start with SBR, not AAA. Can AAA be done before SBR? No, no. Yes, Gautam, they are enough. If I'm not clear SBR and good with IFRS, can I go with AAA with some extra hard work? If you're good in IFRS, then yes. I don't know how you're good at it, but if you are, then yes, go ahead. Right? So that's it, guys, for the day. Let's start with our where can I find the notes? I'll share it in the group and it's also uploaded on the planner. So basically, this video will be uploaded on the portal along with the planner, plus along with the class notes. So just wait for my update on your WhatsApp group if you're an enrolled student. Once all these resources are available, I'll text that this is available on the portal now. Okay. So I'll be texting you on WhatsApp after half an hour to 45 minutes after this session. So that's it, guys. Thank you for joining it. I hope it was a helpful session. And if you did enjoy it, do let me know and make sure you stay connected with me over the WhatsApp group if you're enrolled. And even if you're not enrolled, make sure you are connected with us through free global groups because that is something which is going to help you with the resources. So this time, more interactions, so more resources. Thank you. Goodbye. Let's start with this quarter with a smile. May God bless you all. And I hope and pray that you all pass with flying colors in the coming March attempt. So goodbye, good night, take care, bye.